This is Junama, the Junama Talk Show, and welcome once again. And tonight we have a very special guest as we usher in, segueing to the talk show's season 5. And he was our guest about 2 seasons ago, and 2 episodes during season 3. And he is one of the world's most renowned architects, and he's the most prominent Filipino architect we have. And in line with this 28th anniversary, he has launched a book that he has written to recommend, the beautification of the country, which is called Postcards from the Future. So tonight we're lucky to have with us as he launches his book and talks about it. The Philippines' pride, architect Felino Arch.Jun Palafox Jr. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Junama Talk Show once again.
Good evening, Ms. Jun Alma, and glad to be here, and thank you for inviting me again.
Yes, we're very fortunate to have you. Thank you for accepting to talk again to our audience. Anyway, sir, we'd like to very briefly, because we know that it's been a whole day already, and a lot of questions have been thrown your way, and practically everything was asked already. So, as an afterthought, I just wanted to ask about, for instance, about your book, because you were talking about preventively, recommendations on preventive measures for flooding, earthquakes, and fires, and throw in also climate change. So, specifically climate change, do you have any specific recommendations on how you would help, because that's a buzzword today in the international community, it's climate change and wars, so as we try to beautify and develop into, a peaceful and progressive nation and to help our planet survive, how would you recommend that, we try to mitigate, even reverse all these major catastrophes that are facing our country and planet Earth?
Yeah, thank you. So, 2011, when I was president of the Management Association of the Philippines, our theme that year was mapping, MAP, Management Association of the Philippines, mapping a culture of integrity, addressing corruption, criminality, and climate change. Climate change is really, it's really coming. It's part of our planning already. It's climate change, the rising sea levels, the land subsidence going down, and so on. It's going to happen. That's why part of our planning is we look at the potential elevation and height of the highest flooding the next 100 years. So that when we design cities and buildings, we already integrate that into our plans. Like I showed a while ago, for not just for preventing but responding to adaptive architecture engineering. Or for new projects, you raise the level of the livable rooms higher than the highest floods possible. Like San Vicente, Palawan, all the livable rooms should be at least 5 meters above ground, because tsunamis and storm surge predicted there, forecasted there, the highest will be 4 meters. Along Marikina River, we planned there high-rise buildings, mixed use, different uses, place to live, workshop, and dine, learn, and worship, with 24-hour cycle activity centers, 21 meters below, no livable spaces. They can be for parking anyway. You can remove the cars before the floods arrive and interconnect them with pedestrian bridges. Even in the city planning we've been doing, tourism plans, we look for the highest flood lines, and also for earthquakes, we ask where the fault line is, and you cannot build on it. Our land use plan for 5 meters away on either side of the fault line, non-buildable. And then many of the projects we've done, we've made them into non-saleable, non-buildable, make them into parks. And there are 18 kinds of disasters or hazards. Address the hazard before the disasters through planning, architecture, and even real estate development. And it's 90% less expensive or cheaper to address the hazards before they become disasters through urban planning, architecture, engineering, and so on. And we already know the locations of all these hazards. We really have to address them in proper planning, design, engineering, architecture, because it's 90% more expensive to do rehabilitation after the disaster. Like many of our infrastructure proposals we consider now, like the subway. I don't have anything against subways because they carry more people, but they should address terrorism, preventive maintenance, and so on. So it should be comprehensively looked at. And even the private developers, it should not all be profit, 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 never mind traffic. And like open spaces are lungs of the city. And open spaces, parks and playground, which already lack in Metro Manila, the traffic generation as park, open spaces, pedestrian access. When you put several high-rise buildings, maybe it will generate 10,000 cars a day. So, like Makati, I think from after 1986, the density has gone up 4 times. But they did not increase the capacity of the access roads, transportation, traffic, trains, and so on by 4 times. That's why we have so much traffic here. And so many tall buildings are being done. I'm a fellow of the Council for Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat, headquartered in Chicago. I'm a fellow worldwide. And so many mistakes are happening. Even our building code is not good enough. So when we do high-rise buildings, we borrow from other countries similarly situated to the Philippines has earthquake zones. So we borrow the best practices and combine it with our building code.
So what about, you were talking about the transport systems and different kinds of vehicles that the metropolis can use and utilize. So, for instance, like the motorcycles and the tricycles are scattered around. They're allowed to use the main thoroughfares, and they add to all the chaos. The traffic, it's very chaotic and really is such a number one problem in the country, in the metropolis today. So, how would you suggest that you come up with thoroughfares specifically for different kinds, for instance, for motorcycles, and integrate it within our main highways? So I should try to develop interconnect outside and try to develop the country, and then try to interconnect with other regions in the world. You also try to intra-develop within the metropolis to try to add on to the different C5s and up to C10s to come up with highways or roads that are specific for motorcycles or tricycles or jeepies. Do you think that's feasible, sir?
Yeah, because our design for roads by road engineers like Public Works, our roads are designed for the automobile, and most of it they don't even consider the pedestrian, the bicycles, the different kinds of transportation modes. They don't consider them. Like we have so many tricycles, motorbikes, now bicycles. There should be a traffic segregation. You don't have to create another one, but maybe you put a divider in between the different. Like, look at the trees they destroyed in MacArthur Highway. Maybe they had to put the additional lane for slow-moving vehicles on the right side of the trees instead of destroying the trees. And EDSA corridor, EDSA and Commonwealth, it's a good example of how not to do it. It's a mistake. The design, the geometric design, and so on. So we really have to re-educate also our designers of roads. When I was in Dubai as an architect urban planner, before it goes to roads engineering, it comes to us as urban planner, urban designer, architect, landscape architects, transportation traffic engineers. Before it goes to the road engineers, here they only go to the road engineers. There's no input from urban planning and urban design.
I understand even in Europe and the United States, before anyone in the community, even if they have to just change the window design, they still have to get the approval of the government and the government controls the design of the whole country. It's like I was thinking. Do you think that it just maybe could be starting off with a simple cleanliness, just cleaning up, and it doesn't need to be capitalizing all this infrastructure, and then painting maybe a unified paint for the whole country, and then everything is looking clean and efficient already. And then I was thinking, so I want to also ask about, for instance, the mountains, because you're talking about the rivers that we have to, the polluted rivers that we have to clean, and the roads and highways that we have to build, the infrastructure. What about the mountains? Because there was an article that I read recently that the mountains in Zambales, which were I think mistakenly granted to some Chinese mining company, was discovered to be a huge military underground reserve for China already. So, this is happening in our mountains. That's supposed to be in Philippine territory. So, obviously, there's no control. There's lack of control by government authorities, and like you were saying, this causes the uglification of the country, and then coupled by wars and all that fightings. Instead, it's cheaper to just develop and beautify instead of kill, destroy, and uglify. So, would you like to appeal to our officials, whether it's our government or governments abroad, that peace development is the way to go, and it's the higher human form of existence. So for the sake of world peace and beauty, so development is the way to go.
Yes, ma'am. As I shared a while ago, I proposed to interconnect all the 6 continents of the world, and I spoke about that recommendation in New York on the 60th anniversary of the United Nations, and connecting all the continents of the world through railways, bridges, tunnels was calculated to be cheaper than the Gulf War. So a peace and development project is more affordable than conflict and war. Like the conflict in Mindanao is the second longest conflict in the world. If you and if we only put more development, more jobs, more infrastructure, better urban planning and design guidelines, I think it will thrive. It will have more jobs, more peace, and no more killings. We have design guidelines also for mountains, and many also because of our wrong infrastructure, forcing roads in the mountains. You can use cable cars or funiculars instead of forcing a road. And the way we should develop, we should respect the topography, respect nature, and protect, preserve, and enhance the environment. And that's the way to go. I probably have more than 1,000 recommendations to improve our country, and I'll write them into books because I've been putting forward since my student days, and 39 countries have already listened to me, implemented our recommendations. Now with the strong leadership, with visionary leaders, better appreciation of good urban planning, good design like architecture, engineering, and good governance, I think we should be in the top 20 economies of the world in 5 years if we support the leadership now. And this is probably one of, maybe the only chance to have genuine reforms and change. The president is not perfect. We should help him. We should protect him from corrupt politicians getting into his into government.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Architect Palafox. And before we end, we'd like to invite them, because we understand you have a forthcoming book that you will be launching again, and as a segue to this Postcards from the Future. So would you also like to inform the televiewers about it and invite them to buy your books?
Thank you. In fact, this conversation today the net income we'll have will help us start our urban planning, better planning for Marawi. And this book is, I hope future generations will also learn from the mistakes today and the best practices in the world. And they will be affordable because our previous books were almost 4,000 each. So the books we're preparing now are less than 1,000 pesos each. So it's more affordable by more people. And also, like in Nepal, Kathmandu, we're designing a hospital, a university, and 3 schools to last 1,000 years for the next 40 generations. In our country, we're talking just now with our recommendations, the next 100 years, only 4 generations. So it's doable, it can be done, as long as we have more patriotic Filipinos, we have more courageous Filipinos, fighting corruption and criminality, and more intelligent Filipinos who can address more effectively climate change. And thank you very much. Please, we look forward to having you join us in our next book launching or a series of learnings, lectures, and seminars. So I'd like to share whatever I've learned the past 45 years from schools like Harvard, University, UP, and the seminary, and by having visited and observed more than 2,000 cities in 74 countries, with projects in 39 countries, with lectures in 20 countries in Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Architect Palafox. So there you have it, folks. So one of our most brilliant architects and a Harvard school, Harvard graduate, and Harvard lecturer, privately funded. Proud of that. So thank you, Architect, and we hope the authorities of our government, as well as all the other governments, would listen to you, that peace and development is the way to go. So let's have both our heads and hearts to save our planet. Thank you, and please look forward to the next episodes of the Jun Alma Talk Show. Thank you.
Hello there. This is Jun Alma for the Jun Alma Talk Show, and welcome once again to our 4th season. See you